Welcome to today's video on the credit card debt crisis and why so many financial plans fail before they start. We'll walk through the math, the traps, and the exact steps to take now. Let's begin. Here's the agenda. First, the wake-up call and why a $600 monthly payment fails. Next, stop the bleeding moves. Then we'll cover why you should avoid raiding your retirement and balance transfer gimmicks. After that, we'll build a real debt avalanche plan, discuss when to consider professional options, and finish with key takeaways and an action checklist. Let's start with a wake-up call. If you're sitting on balances around $37,000 at a 21% APR, your monthly interest can exceed a typical minimum payment. This is not a simple budgeting tweak. It's a financial crisis that demands immediate, decisive action. Next, let's look at the math so you can see the problem clearly. Here's the math. At 21% APR, the monthly rate is about 1.75% on a $37,000 balance. Month 1 interest is roughly $647.50. If your payment is $600, you are not even covering interest. The balance grows, and you enter negative amortization. That's why a plan based on small payments fails. Now, to quantify options, let's compare different payment levels. This table shows how payment size changes the outcome. At $600, you don't cover interest, so the balance grows. At $1,000, you begin reducing principal, but the payoff time is about 5 years. At $1,500, the payoff time drops to roughly 2.7 years. At $2,000, it can be under 2 years. The transition here is clear. Increasing principal payment dramatically cuts payoff time. Now we stop the bleeding. First, switch every recurring bill to cash or debit immediately. Next, freeze your credit cards physically or through your card app. Then, cancel all non-essential subscriptions and auto-renewals. Create a bare-bones 90-day budget that prioritizes essentials only. Finally, shift daily spending to envelope cash or debit with real-time notifications to prevent new high-interest charges. Next, let's avoid the most common traps. Avoid the traps. A retirement loan, such as from a 401k, can cause severe penalties or taxes and becomes due if you lose your job, creating catastrophic risk. A 0% balance transfer provides temporary breathing room, but it is not a solution. Fees apply and the promotional clock is ticking. Use a transfer only for high-rate balances you cannot immediately pay with available cash, and only if you will fully pay it off before the promotion ends. Now let's compare illusions versus reality. On the left are myths about 0% balance transfers. That it is free money forever, that you can ease spending now, that refinancing later will be easy, and that fees are irrelevant. On the right is reality. Promotions end and deferred interest can apply. Spending must be cut immediately. Refinancing cycles fail without principal reduction, and transfer fees shorten your runway. Similarly, with 401k loans, the myth is low interest cost, while the reality is the risk of immediate repayment on job loss and potential taxes or penalties. With that in mind, let's build a robust avalanche plan. This timeline shows the first 24 months. In months 0 to 1, you switch recurring bills to debit, freeze cards, and cancel subscriptions. In month 1, you deploy $12,000 of available cash to the highest APR balance using the avalanche method. In months 1 to 3, you set automatic monthly payments above $1,500. In month 2, you open a single 0% balance transfer for the remaining high-rate balance, accepting the small transfer fee. In months 2 to 3, you schedule bi-weekly auto payments designed to fully repay the transfer before the promotional period ends. At months 6, 12, and 18, you run checkpoint reviews to increase payments through income increases and expense reductions. A clear milestone marks the promotional end to avoid trap interest. By months 18 to 24, you finish payoff and only unfreeze cards after the balance is 0. Next, let's detail the avalanche steps. Execute the avalanche method correctly. First, list all debts and sort by highest APR. Next, pay minimums on all debts while directing all extra dollars to the highest APR account. Use the available $12,000 as a lump sum against that top rate balance. If any high-rate balance remains, consider a single 0% transfer only for that leftover amount, and schedule fixed payments to eliminate it before the promotion ends. Automate these payments and set calendar reminders for monthly check-ins and the promotion end date.
Now let's test your understanding with a quick quiz.
Quiz time. With $37,000 at 21% APR, does a $600 monthly payment even cover the first month's interest? Option A. Yes, it covers interest and reduces principal. Option B. No. Interest is about $647, so the balance grows. Option C. It depends on your credit score. Option D. Only if you make payments bi-weekly.
You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section.
The correct answer is no. At 21% APR, the monthly rate is roughly 1.75%, which produces about $647 of interest on $37,000 in the first month. A $600 payment falls short, so the balance grows.
Now, let's address income and expenses to accelerate payoff. To fuel the plan, increase income through overtime, additional shifts, freelance projects, selling unused items, or temporary gig work. Simultaneously, reduce expenses by renegotiating rent, utilities, and insurance, meal planning, pausing streaming services, and carpooling. Automate payment increases so that when income rises, your debt payment automatically increases the same week. Set a 90-day sprint target to add $900 to $1,400 per month toward principal. Next, one more quick quiz on balance transfers. Second quiz. What is the right way to use a 0% balance transfer in this plan? Option A. Transfer everything and relax spending. Option B. Use it only for remaining high-rate debt after deploying cash, and schedule full payoff before the promotion ends. Option C. Avoid it at all costs and never use balance transfers. Option D. Use it to fund new purchases at 0%. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section. The correct answer is to use a balance transfer only for remaining high-rate debt after deploying cash through the Avalanche method, and to schedule full payoff before the promotional period ends. A transfer provides limited runway, not a complete solution. Now let's visualize how your budget should be reallocated. This pie chart illustrates a bare-bones 90-day budget. 50% essentials, 30% toward debt principal, 15% discretionary, and 5% as a small buffer or savings. The allocations emphasize prioritizing principal reduction while maintaining a small cushion to avoid new debt. Now, let's summarize the key points before the disclaimer and closing. Key points. First, negative amortization is real. $600 per month will not beat a 21% APR on $37,000. Second, stop new high-interest charges immediately by switching to cash or debit. Third, do not raid retirement. Use a 0% balance transfer sparingly and strategically. Fourth, lead with your $12,000 lump sum and attack the highest APR first using the Avalanche method. Fifth, automate payments. Add the promotional end date to your calendar and review monthly. Finally, if you cannot raise payments far above $600, explore professional debt relief or consult bankruptcy counsel. This section is a disclaimer. This video is educational only and does not constitute financial, legal, or tax advice. Interest rates, fees, and laws vary by jurisdiction, so consult a qualified professional. Balance transfers may include fees and could involve retroactive interest. Always read the terms carefully. Bankruptcy and other debt relief options carry significant credit and legal consequences. Obtain professional counsel before taking action. Now, a quick recap and closing message.
To summarize, high-interest debt requires radical action, not minor adjustments. Stop new charges, cut spending, and raise income to increase principal payments. Use the Avalanche method with your lump sum. And, if needed, one strategic 0% transfer with a pre-scheduled payoff before the promotion ends. If you cannot push payments well above $600, seek professional help sooner rather than later.
Finally, here's our closing message. Thank you for watching. If this was helpful, please like the video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more practical strategies. Share your questions or your 90-day sprint goal in the comments.